Shabbat, Shalom, and welcome, everybody. It's great to be here. I'm aware that there's some game going on out there, apparently. So
I heard a rumor.
yeah, what can we do? Apparently,
Very tall people throwing balls
very
around.
tall people, and apparently they have very good rankings on TV and all that. So we're going to try our very best to compete tonight. It is Shabbat, so welcome, everybody. I'm Rabbi Javier Carapan, and I'm joined this evening by Leslie and our musicians and our technical team in the back. You can join our Beyond Our Walls committee anytime. We are always looking for digital docents and people to help, so let us know. We'll put you in touch. For those of you joining us from home, we have an actual technical assistance line is 913-303-1134. You can text that number and someone in our technical team will help you find your way back to the streaming. And finally, for all of us here in person, make sure that you silent all your electronic devices. And all the pages are going to be on the screen, but we are calling those page numbers in the square brackets. It's good to be together for Shabbat. I love this. If at home you have candles, we invite you to light them together with us. As we prepare to light the Shabbat candles, we offer a prayer on page 121. As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we by our lives give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we in our own day be among those who kindle light. Page 120.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Shabbat Shalom. We continue together welcoming Shabbat on page 138. We are singing stanzas 1, 2, 5, and 9. Lecha dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekavela. Lecha dodi לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבלה. שמור וזכור ודיבור אחד, השמיענו אל עמך, אדוני אחד ושמו אחד, שיר ותפארת בלי תהילה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבלה.
לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה, כי היא מקור הברכה, מראש מתוודד נסוכה, סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה.
לך דודי לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבלה.
התעוררי, התעוררי, כי באורך תומי אורי, אורי
עליו, בני שבת נקבלה.
בואי ושלום עטרת מעלה, גם בשמחה ובצהלה, תוך אמוני עם סגולה. בואי חלה,
לך דודי לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבלה. We continue together on page 140, words from Psalm 92, Mizmor Shir. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון. להגיד בבוקר חסדך, ואמונתך בלילות, עלי עשור ועלי נמל, עלי היגיון וכינור. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון. כי שימחתני אדוני בפועלך, במעשה ידך הרנן. מה גדלו מעשיך אדוני, מאור עמקו מחשבותיך. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון. Service continues on page 146. Yai, dai, dai, dai.
Yai, lai, 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 lai.
Yai, lai, 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 lai.
Yai, lai, 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 lai.
Yai, lai, 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 lai,
These
lai.
eyes, Barechu,
Barechu
et Adonai,
et Adonai.
Halevorach,
Halevorach.
Baruch Adonai,
Baruch Adonai.
Hamevorach,
Hamevorach.
Leolam,
Leolam. We continue together on page 149. This is an hour of change. Within it, we stand uncertain on the border of light. Shall we draw back or cross over? Where shall our hearts turn? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? This is the hour of change, and within it, we stand quietly on the border of light. What lies before us? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? Baruch Ata Adonai, Hama'ariv Aravim. Everlasting love, you offered your people Israel by teaching us Torah and mitzvot, laws and precepts. Therefore, Adonai, our God, when we lie down and when we rise up, we will meditate on your laws and your commandments. We will rejoice in your Torah forever. Day and night we will reflect on them, for they are our life, and doing them lengthens our days. Never remove your love from us. Praise to you, Adonai, who loves your people Israel. Baruch Ata Adonai, Ohev Amo Israel. Shema Israel, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha v'chol lavavcha v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol me'odecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavacha hayom alevavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam b'shivtecha bevetecha u'v'lektecha b'derek u'v'shoch b'cha u'v'kumecha u'kshartam lehot al yadecha ve'hayu letotafot b'neinecha u'chtavtam al mezuzot beitecha u'visharecha leman tizkeru v'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'tem kedoshim leolechem Ani Adonai Elohechem Asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim liot lachem le'Elohim Ani Adonai Elohechem Adonai Elohechem Emet.
Emet. We join together at the top of page 157. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands, marching together. There's a tradition.
It's okay. Yeah, no, we're only on week 2. You should.
Yes, I think I have to do it every week. There's a tradition to anticipate musically in the liturgy the next big holiday. And of course, Pesach is around the corner. We just had Purim. The song says, Purim a la mano. No, Purim lano, Pesach a la mano. We have Purim, means that Pesach is at hand. And indeed, it is. This coming week is going to be the first day of the month of Nisan. And one tradition is to sing Mi Chamocha to different tunes, and we do this for high holidays. You know, Mi Chamocha. Oh, that's Hanukkah.
That's Hanukkah, but that's okay. Now I can't think of it either.
You think about it. Well, the tradition for Pesach is to sing it to the melody. Here.
No? Yes.
Oh yeah, well that's the
Passover,
one that
yeah,
we do not like. So
That's
we're
what
never gonna do that one. You can do that one by
The
yourselves.
High Holy Day is just,
So, and that's for Adir U. But we thought that it's important to continue that tradition. So honoring that tradition, but not the melody. We found this song by Peter and Ellen Allard. It's called Standing at the Sea. And our composer in residence here has graciously agreed to change some of the lyrics every week as we get closer to Pesach. I don't remember what we sang last week, but it had to do with early on. But this week, we're getting closer. Rosh Chodesh, Nisan is coming up and all that. How many?
2 slides.
2 slides. All right. So we sang it last week. So
We're going to start with the same verses we did last. We'll do the first 2 verses the same every week to get us back into it.
And this is the original.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, these are Ellen and Peter's words. Standing at the sea, Michamocha, standing at the sea, Michamocha, standing at the sea, Michamocha, freedom is on our way. Singing and dancing, Michamocha, singing and dancing, Michamocha, singing and dancing, Michamocha, freedom is on our way. Freedom, 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 freedom is on our way.
Oh, sorry.
Nissan starts on Wednesday, Michamocha. Nissan starts on Wednesday, Michamocha. Nissan starts on Wednesday, Michamocha. Freedom is on our way. It's the first month. Nissan is the first month, Michamocha. Nissan is the first month, Michamocha. Nissan is the first month, Michamocha. Freedom is on our way. Freedom. Freedom, 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 freedom is on our way. We have 4 new years, Michamocha. We have 4 new years, Michamocha. We have 4 new years, Michamocha. Freedom is on our way. This one starts the festivals, Michamocha. This one starts the festivals, Michamocha. This one starts the festivals, Michamocha. Freedom's on our way. Freedom, 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 freedom is on our way.
Yasher koach.
Well, yes, as a matter of fact, I did research months and years in the Jewish calendar all day. Why do you ask?
And so it was fun and educational.
It's my favorite thing.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Oh, thank you.
We continue together on page 161. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Adonai, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise us up waiting to do your will. Baruch Ata Adonai, Hapores Sukkot Shalom Aleinu v'al kol amo Israel ve'al Yerushalayim. Yeshameru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל
השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורתם, ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורתם, ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורתם, ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורתם, ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת ויהי נפש, שבת ויהי נפש, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורתם, ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורתם, ברית עולם. na 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 Adonai, na 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 sfatai tiftach, na 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 ufi yagid tehilatecha, na 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 Adonai, na 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 sfatai tiftach, na 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 ufi yagid tehilatecha, na 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 Adonai, na 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 sfatai tiftach, na 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 ufi yagid tehilatecha.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Vekonei Hakol, Vezocher Chasdei Avot v'Imahot, Umevi Gula Livnei Bnehem, L'ma'an Shemo be'ahava, Melech Ozer u'Moshia u'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham v'Zrat Sarah, Atah Gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechaye metim atah Rab lehoshia, Mahashiv haruach u'morit hagashem, Mechalkel chayim bechesed, Mechaye metim berachamim robim, Somech noflim ve'rofech cholim, U'matir asurim, U'mekayem emunato lishenei afar, Micha mocha ba'gevurot החיות, ומיתו מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה להחיות מתים, ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיי המתים. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יעללוך הסלע, ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו, ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל.
We now turn our thoughts to those in need of return and healing. We begin with a Misha Berach for those in captivity or whose whereabouts are unknown. May the one who blessed Abraham and Sarah, Isaac and Rebekah, Jacob and Leah and Rachel, bless, watch, and guard the captives, men, women, among others of the house of Israel, who found themselves in distress and captivity. May Adonai grant mercy upon them, take them out from darkness and gloom, break their chains, redeem them from their ordeals, and return them quickly to the comfort of their families. And may the words of the prophet Isaiah be fulfilled speedily in our own time. Ufiduei Adonai yeshuvun, then the ransom of Adonai shall return. Uvao Tzion berina v'simchat olam al rosham, and come with shouting to Zion, crown with joy everlasting. Sason v'simcha yasigu v'nasu yagon v'nacha. Then shall attain joy and gladness, while sorrow and sighing flee. And together we say, Amen. And now we turn our attention closer to home to those among us who are in need of healing of the mind, body, and spirit. If you are with us online, you may have access to the Misheberach by following the links in the comments. You can also offer names in the comments. I'm going to try to read them so we can all hear the names. And for those of us here in person, I invite you to share names as I go around the sanctuary. Thank you. On this side. As we think of those in need of healing, on page 371, we join together in the Mi Sheberach prayer.
Mi Sheberach Avoteinu Mekor HaBeracha Ve'imoteinu, the source of strength, who bless the ones before us. Help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen.
May the one who blessed our ancestors bring blessings of strength, companionship, and healing to those of us who struggle with the oppression of addiction, emotional distress, and mental suffering. Surround them with loving kindness, grace, companionship, and peace.
Mi Sheberach Imoteinu Mekor HaBeracha Lavoteinu, the souls in need of healing, with refuah shelema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
We add these names: Chaya, Lina, Karen, Chris, and Annie. Now it's time to move to our Simcha moment. If you have a special Simcha from this past week that may include birthday, anniversaries, good news, and accomplishments, we invite you to either type them on the comments or join us here. We have an X. You come up here, tell us who you are and why you are here today. And I will look online. Reminder to all of those of you online, it takes about 10 to 15 seconds for me to see the comments, so I'll try my best.
My name is Hadassah, and this week I made haystack cookies, and I was able to help with kosher Meals on Wheels.
Nice, thank you.
I'm Carol, and this has been a really good week. On Wednesday, I got to see Elvis, a tribute to Elvis, at the new theater, at the new theater restaurant. I guess he's the greatest Elvis tribute person in the country right now. But on Thursday, I volunteered at a tzedakah shuk and saw some of the Beth Torah members there. And so it was a good week. And there's Estelle, who had a birthday.
You do yours.
I'm
This is
sorry.
Carol's ventriloquist act. I'm Estelle, and no fooling, my birthday was on April 1st.
Oh, very nice. And it is our tradition on the Shabbat preceding the new year, the new month, that we recite a blessing before for the new moon. יהי רצון מלפניך, אדוני אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו ואמותינו, שתחדש עלינו את החודש הבא לטובה ולברכה. Our God and God of our ancestors, may the new month bring us goodness and blessing. May we have long life, peace, prosperity, a life exalted by love of Torah and reverence of the divine, a life with has much longings of our hearts are fulfilled for good. Rosh Chodesh Nisan yeh beyom Sheni.
Shani.
Yes, Sheni, yes.
Oh, the internet lies.
I'm sorry. Beyom Sheni. Well, I may be wrong.
Wednesday is Shani.
No, it starts Tuesday evening. Wednesday evening? No, but that is not correct.
No, he's saying I'm wrong, and it begins at sundown on Tuesday, which is fine. This is how we learn.
Sorry, we should have talked about this. I'm sorry.
Sometime next week, it's going to be Nisan, which is the first month of the year, even though the year started at Rosh Hashanah.
So
I believe you.
See, the first of Nisan is Tuesday, and it starts Monday evening, which is Yom Sheni. So, anyways, that's okay. It's okay. So, maybe you should trust the rabbi sometimes. Rosh Chodesh, don't trust everything you read. Because Rosh Chodesh Nisan yeh beyom Sheni, meaning that the new month of Nisan will begin on Monday at sunset. No, Monday. Well, Tuesday, Rosh Chodesh is
Yes.
Tuesday,
Yes.
but it begins Monday at sunset.
Okay.
Sorry.
Next week, Nisan starts.
And it's going to be a good month. Let's sing Shechayanu together. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam שהחיינו וקיימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם שהחיינו וקיימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה.
Nice harmonies up here.
So I have to say a few words before I say a few words. Yet again, week after week. But this time is because I was preparing for today, and it's not a straightforward argument. But here's the point that I will get to when I get to it. Which is, not every mitzvah commandment that you think are essential or they're very important appear in the Torah. But the rabbis insist that they do. And this is a case, a very important one, Nichum Avelim, the comforting of the bereaved. that the rabbis find almost miraculously, I would say, in this week's Torah portion. So here it is. Bear with me for a few minutes. Now, chapter 10 of the book of Leviticus is one of the most troublesome chapters of the entire Torah. I notice I didn't say one of the most important, one of the most troublesome. Both in terms of the timing of the events and the description of the events. Now, this week's Torah portion, Parashat Shmini, opens with the priest's dedication ceremony, which took place on the 8th Shmini day after the conclusion of the building of the Mishkan, of the tabernacle. In some ways, this is where biblical Judaism really begins, with a system of sacrifices. It is supposed to be the most auspicious time, but things go terribly wrong. In just 3 verses, we're told that Nadab and Abihu, Aaron's sons, were consumed by a divine fire as they tried to offer their fire pan without authorization. They die without any apparent explanation other than to say that their fire was strange, esh zara. Many questions have been asked about their death, and many reasons have also been given, non-conclusive. Perhaps the reasons behind God's actions would remain a mystery. Some aspects of the story have prompted our ancient rabbis to wonder about how Aaron was comforted after the tragic death of his sons. In other words, putting aside divine reasoning, how did people around Aaron react to this terrible situation? Their reaction, our rabbis taught, could teach us valuable lessons about how we should act when faced with unexplicable tragedy. The text's main plain meaning suggests that there was no time for mourning because the people were in the middle of the consecration of the Mishkan, of the tabernacle. In other words, Moses and the other leaders did not come up to comfort Aaron upon his loss as one would have expected. Something bad happens to Aaron. What would people do? Oh, Aaron, are you okay? Nothing. One of my favorite commentators, the Spanish medieval scholar, goes by the name of Rabbeinu Bachia, noticed something interesting. There seems to be a gap in the story. Now, verse 6 reads, Moses spoke to Aaron and to his sons, Eleazar and Itamar, saying, do not bare your heads and do not rend your clothes, lest you die and anger strike the whole community. One would have expected that the prescription not to mourn would have been followed by the continuation of the rituals prescribed by God in which they were engaged. But no, in verse 12, we have now God speaking to Aaron, seemingly telling Aaron what God had already told them on verse 6. So the question is, what happened in between? We find this strange, never heard before mitzvah directly addressed to Aaron. And here it is. So God says to Aaron, drink no wine or other intoxicant, you or your sons, when you enter the tent of meeting, the Ohel Moed, that you may not die. This is a law for all time throughout the ages. Nobody had ever heard about this law until now. I mean, this never appears anywhere else. So Rabbeinu Bachia suggests that that interaction between God and Aaron leads to this. The reason, Bachia says, that the Torah interposed the legislation about not entering the sanctuary while in the state of intoxication was to teach that it is good form to offer one's condolences to the bereaved. Now, are you lost already? Well, so am I. So bear with me just one more minute. Now, but this is Bachia quoting the rabbis, which is that from the story of the aftermath of the death of Nadab and Abihu is how we learn the mitzvah of comforting the bereaved. But we're not there yet. So Rabbeinu Bachia thinks that we can learn this Nichum Aveilim, the mitzvah of comforting the bereaved, directly from this episode. So Bachia continues. Aaron was a mourner. The Torah, therefore, comforts him in his bereavement by speaking to him exclusively about rites to be observed by mourners. This is not in the Torah. This is the Midrash. Aaron was not to drink wine while in mourning. Well, that is true. The idea that God personally, you're not supposed to drink wine during Shiva and things like that. The idea that God personally observes such good form has already been demonstrated in the book of Genesis. Remember? Where God appeared to Abraham in order to fulfill the custom of visiting the sick, seeing that Abraham was recuperating for his circumcision at that time. That's the most famous story about God showing with God's own example how to perform a mitzvah that does not appear in the Torah. As we read in the book of Kohelet, Ecclesiastes, Bachia says, it is better to go to the house of mourners than to go to the house where a feast is in progress. And Bachia really doesn't have in mind just that text, but he really has in mind the Midrash on Kohelet that says, quote, it is preferable to be in the company of people who are concerned both with the living and the dead than to keep the company of people who are only concerned with the living. When we visit the mourners at home, for instance, during the Shiva, we are paying respect to both the departed and the surviving mourners. Although the Torah includes many mitzvot, some basic religious obligations are not explicitly mentioned in the text. They do play a major role in how we relate to one another, but they don't explicitly appear in the Torah. During the morning service, we often sing the prayer, Elu Dvarim, these are the things, and the whole list is very long, and some of them appear in the Torah and some of them don't, and they are. It says, these are things that are limitless, of which a person enjoys the fruit of the world, while the principle remains in the world to come, and they are honoring one's father and mother, which appears in the Torah, engaging in deeds of compassion, not in the Torah. Arriving early for study, morning and evening, no. Arriving earlier, Jews, not in the Torah. Dealing graciously with guests, not in the Torah. Visiting the sick, not in the Torah. Providing for the wedding couple, not in the Torah. And finally, accompanying the dead for burial, the Nichum Avelim, not in the Torah. Again, not literally explicit in the Torah, however, the rabbis teach that these are actually the most basic rules. And this is actually a text from the Mishnah that articulates the rabbinic value system. We are all responsible for each other. And those are all the ways in which we show that we are responsible for each other. It is true that no explicit text in the Torah reads, "You shall be kind to people who lost their loved ones." But that is precisely what we learn from the story of how God approached Aaron after the death of his two sons. So just like God comforted Aaron, so too must we comfort the bereaved by reaching out to them, by attending funerals and burials, as well as Shiva services at the house of mourning. In modern times, clergy, rabbis, and cantors tend to perform the mitzvah of Nichum Avelim, comforting the bereaved, as part of our regular duties. Yes, yet it is a religious obligation that all of us should consider performing. It shows that we are indeed responsible for each other. And perhaps above all other commands, Nichum Avelim, the comforting of the bereaved, contributes more to the creation and strengthening of community than any other Jewish practice. I am keenly aware that this holy congregation might be without a permanent rabbi in just a couple of months. So a mitzvah such as this would become increasingly dependent on lay people to perform. I'm also very much aware of whom I'm talking to. I'm aware that I might be preaching to the choir, literally. But in this case, indeed, all of you, the Friday night regulars, who I know have performed this mitzvah many times, will have to work a little harder and even strongly encourage others to show that they care for each other in this congregation by performing the mitzvah of Nichum Avelim. As we comfort the bereaved, we show compassion towards friends and fellow congregants in their time of sorrow. It is my prayer that you will follow God's example and comfort the bereaved, as you will bring much consolation and build a stronger kehillah, a stronger holy congregation. Have a Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Thank you. As our musical team comes back, I will switch the slide to Aleinu L'Shabech, and if you're able, stand in spirit or in body to join us for Aleinu L'Shabech. It's on page 586.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, l'ateit hidula le'otzeh breshit, shelo asanu peguyei aratzot, ve'lo samanu b'mishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkeinu kahem,
למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני, וחרוש שמו אחד. נאמר כי היה אדוני, למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני, וחרוש שמו אחד. ביום ההוא
ושמו אחד. ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ. ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד. Our thoughts now turn to those who have departed this earth, our own loved ones, those whom our friends and neighbors have lost, the martyrs of our people whose graves are unmarked, and those of every race and nation whose lives have been a blessing to humanity. As we remember them, we meditate in the meaning of love and loss, of life and death. We are observing the Shloshim period for Jack Childs, father and father-in-law of Casey and Rabbi Mark Levin. And on this Shabbat, we remember the following yortzites of members of our congregation: Mary Belmont, Betty Weinstock Berling, Saul Bruntman, Susan Busman, Stanley R. Chambers, Ray Cherney, Virginia Esser, William Goldman, Blanche Goldstein, Harry Gorski, Gladys Marie Grebner, Morton Hellman, Rose Inger, Herbert Mendelson, Sion Rachbarad, Marvin Shalinsky, Mitchell Schessel, Fred Smith, Merrill Zucker. Zichronam livracha, may the memories be for a blessing. Kaddish Yatom is on page 598. If you're able, please stand and join us. Itgadal ve'itkadash shme rabba, be'alma divra chirute ve'amich malchute, be'chayechon uve'mechon uve'chayei dechol beit Israel, ba'agala ubizman kariv v'imru amen. יהא שמי רבה מברך לעלם ולעלמי עלמיה, יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל, שמי דקודשה בריחו, לאלה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, דא אמירן בעלמה ואמרו אמן. יהא שלמה רבה מן שמיה, וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום ממרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן.
עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום
Few announcements. Thank you to our musical team led by Leslie, to our wonderful technical team in the back. Special thank you to our ushers, Kevin Romano and Barbara Mendelson, and Demian, who's joining us this evening. Hi, Demian. And our Shabbat celebration will continue tomorrow morning. We have Sichat Shabbat at 9 a.m., followed by Shabbat morning worship at 10:30 in our sanctuary right here, when Hazel Metcalf will lead us in worship as she becomes a bat mitzvah. There you go.
Sunday morning is our next Interfaith Conversations group meeting at 10:30 in the library. Our open-ended, peer-led discussion will provide a safe space for folks to ask questions, compare notes, and find community.
Then at 3 p.m., it is time for our next community service for spiritual renewal. They're usually around the holidays, so Passover is coming around. Join our community rabbi, chaplain, Rabbi Jonathan Rutnick, and then the rabbi from New Reform Temple, Alan Lundy, and our very own Leslie for readings, prayers, and songs focusing on reflection and renewal.
Be sure and register for our second night congregational Seder. Come celebrate with us on April 23rd. Bring your own kosher Pesach dinner or order from Jewish Experiences. That deadline is April 8th. So if you want someone else to cook your meal, April 8th is your deadline to order that from Jewish Experiences, and the links are in all of the usual places.
Our chocolate Seder is now open to the Jewish community. If you have Jewish friends who would like to invite, it's geared mostly for children in school age.
Sure.
But you can come, but
But there's chocolate.
you can come too, but the excuse is you have to bring a child, basically.
I feel like you're encouraging. Just grab a
I'm
kid.
encouraging as many children as possible, but you must register if you're not in our religious community by April 16, so we can be sure that we have plenty of chocolate and other things for you.
Finally, we have opened our Delet Petucha, our open door conversation on Facebook to help connect congregants who have an open seat at their Seder table with those who need an open seat. So on our Facebook community page is a chat up in the upper left corner. If you've got a place, you can let people know. If you need a place, you can let people know. If you're not on Facebook, call the office and Alex will get you on a list.
And there's a lot more going on, including Lunch and Learn with Moi on Thursday. And we encourage all of you to participate in CVT community activities. After our closing song this evening, that is Adonai Li, words from Adon Olam. We invite everyone to join us in the Ulam for our Kiddush and Hamotzi. And until then, if you're able, I think you sound much better if you stand when you're singing, but you don't have to.
And we are doing Torah next Friday, so if you want to bring your little ones to join in the
that's true.
Hakafa, that would be great.
Shana ve'ahira ve'im rochi yevi'ati Adonai li ve'lo'ira Adonai li
Shabbat Shalom, everybody.
Take care of each other out there.
Thanks for putting up with me.